Hey guys, Slater Magic here, and once again, as is hot right now, I'm going to talk about federal taxes. No, I'm just kidding. I'd rather talk about literally anything else. I would teach you guys how to paint, which would be the blind leading the blind, rather than talk about taxes right now, because YouTubers and taxes go together like SJWs and Logic, or like feminists and anybody wearing a Confederate flag sleeveless tee. No, I'm going to talk about Modern Masters 3 because why not? I cannot believe we have to wait between 2 and 3 weeks, I believe, somewhere in that neighborhood, to find out what's really going to happen, because one of two things is going to happen. So let's just explain that right now, because it really is down to just these two options. I can't think of a third option that will happen. So at least we've got it narrowed down, but there are two very concerning different outcomes. First, there's only going to be one wave. If that is what happens, you're just never going to pick it up for cheap. Unless you snagged pre-order from a respectable person, it's just never going to go below MSRP. I mean, maybe 230 or something, maybe 220. I doubt it. It's just going to be people ordered more than every distributor has, and I have verified that is true. So most of the distributors, if not all of them, are cutting people's orders across the board because they now know how much they're getting. It's just a question of, will there be a second shipment, a second wave, some reinforcements, whatever you want to call it. If the answer to that is no, then the prices are going to be exactly the same as what they are right now, pretty much, because every single box in the entire first wave is spoken for and then some. Unfortunately, the and then some part could result in a $270 box. I mean, it ain't good. So if your LGS is selling them at MSRP, then, good. I mean, who's got the balls to sell something for 11 a pack when they know damn well it's 10 a pack? Now, a whole box at a time, this is going to sound stupid, but I could see them saying, oh, it's $260 for a box or $9.99 a pack. Do the math on that for a second. So I would just start smurfing it, as they call it. Just send in multiple people and tell them, oh yeah, I want to buy 3, I want to buy 5, I want to buy 7, and then eventually you've got a box. Hopefully we don't have to resort to drug dealers / meth producer tactics to get our hands on some damn MM3. Honestly, calling it MM3 kind of sounds like calling it Molly or some kind of, street name. Hello, my name is Des, and I'm addicted to MM3. It's ruined my entire life. It's ruined my family. It's ruined everything. I hope to go to rehab to cure my problem with MM3. But seriously, it looks like I'm not going to be getting the amount that I ordered necessarily, although I told you in the last video about how I hiked up the order at the last second, and it's probably going to get reduced to the amount that I actually ordered in the first place, which will be kind of funny. So yeah, it's not going to be real pretty if there's never a second wave, but it will be kind of nice if you're opening it and want to maintain long-term value, or if you want to open it on day one and not be screwed over price-wise 6 weeks later. Because if they continue to flood the market with singles, they're going to keep dropping. So if you're quick enough to get rid of them on eBay or TCG Player or on a buy list in the first week, great. But usually the point is you open it because you actually want it and want to keep it, so you just want to buy it at an opportune time. So the problem with that is, if there is no second wave and your local gaming store and pretty much everybody else online sells out, you aren't ever going to get a box. If you wait, you might miss it, which is a little bit of a problem, because I hate telling people, yes, pre-order it right now at your local gaming store, or at the very least show up on day one and try to get one, because it's your last shot. I hate telling people to do that, but that's what it might come to. Now, the other option is there is a wave 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and even Wizards doesn't know how the hell many they're going to print because they don't know what the demand would be. Yeah, right, they know damn well what the demand would be when they put every expensive card ever made in it. So then you follow the logic of, why would they possibly take the step of saying, okay, screw singles sellers and hoarders and investors and all those terrible people, screw long-term prices, screw deck values, we want money, which, doesn't that sound like kind of a Wizards thing to you? So they made that decision, clearly, by putting a buttload of expensive cards in the set. So yes, they're raising the demand, they're raising the potential sales, but then why would they not raise the sales, literally the amount that they're producing? Once they're out, they're out. So why would they say, okay, there's a wave 1, hope it sells well, bye-bye, and then just completely leave money on the table? That would be just idiotic and contradicting the actual design of the set. And who does it benefit at the end of the day if they print it just until the cows come home? I'm from Wisconsin. We say that here. Anyway, if they print this to death, we're talking all the way to like wave 5 until people start to finally realize that, okay, now all the singles add up to about $200 a box, even paying $140, barely worth opening it, screw it. So basically print until they should not print it anymore. That would be the only limit, until people stop wanting to buy it because of value reasons. If they did that, who would it benefit, who would it hurt? Well, it would hurt anybody holding large amounts of cards, and I mean extremely large amounts. It would just kill them. It would hurt the average Modern player because their deck would go down in value, and so if they ever wanted to get out of Magic and sell it, which is clearly never going to happen, then they would have less money potentially. But, where did Wizards ever assure every single Modern player that their deck would always be worth money and that they wouldn't take the price? Because I didn't see that announcement. Probably because it doesn't exist. Who would it benefit? Every other Modern player and the existing Modern players. I mean, come on. So if you're running a $600 deck and it probably should have been a $1,000 deck, but you didn't want to drop the money on fetch lands, yes, they devalued your deck, because let's say it's like Death Shadow or something. Oops. But now you want the fetches. Now you can pick them up for 1/4 the normal price, we'll say. So unless you are never going to buy another Modern card as long as you live, okay, then it just affected you negatively. Otherwise, it really just tanked all the singles holders, and I don't like those people. Now, pretty much any local gaming store has a glass case full of stuff going back to who the hell knows when, so it's going to affect every LGS, but at the same time, the LGSs are the ones selling these boxes, and if you can buy them for $140 and sell them for $240, oh, I'm crying all the way to the bank that my $100 copy of a card went down to $25. You literally could sell one box of Modern Masters and make up for the price drop. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really harm anybody that Wizards cares about. Sorry if that sounds a little unapologetic, but it is. People risking their money, and I cannot stress the word risking enough, on a sketchy, non-guaranteed investment. This is not a certified deposit. This is not a government bond, okay? They're risking their money on a potential money-making investment. Oops, it didn't turn out. I mean, whatever. Wizards doesn't owe these people a damn thing. They decided on their own accord, I'm going to buy up 100 copies of every fetch land, and now that they lost money on it, oh well, you can't win them all. You shouldn't have been greedy. You should have sold them off in tiers as the price went up like a normal person. You guys should have seen my buy-sell orders on the big Bitcoin exchange back in the day, and I'm MTGOX. Actually, no, I very rarely use that one. I use the other one. Because they let you sell... sell at 500, then 510, then 520, then 530, and you do 10%, 10%, 10%. So no matter what happens, if it falls, you buy every $10, and if it raises, you sell every $10. So if it goes way up, yeah, you could have made more, but it's safer. So anybody just hoarding these cards, never selling them, just watching the value go up and going, oh, cool, I don't need the money yet, I'm not going to cash out. It's like an idiot at a casino that doesn't know when to stop. You've already won. Just take the damn money. Sell it off. So I have zero sympathy for anybody who would get nuked in this scenario, but that's not news to anybody at this point. Even MTG Lion said what everybody should be thinking if they're a reasonable person. Yes, my trade binder just lost thousands of dollars in cards, and he owns more than the average person, but now he can buy more cards that he wants. He can afford to buy, complete decks and build more decks and build more cubes and whatever, because the cards that he's buying are now cheaper. So, yeah, get over it. So in this scenario, which I think is much more likely, Wizards makes more money, and that at the end of the day is why I think it's more likely, and it doesn't hurt anybody that Wizards gives a crap about. That's the other piece. So there's almost no reason for them to short it, except for one. What the hell are they going to print in 2019 if they print every damn Modern card? Now, they left stuff out. They left out like Exquisite Blood and a couple other $10, $15 cards, stuff like that. I'm sure they left out some $60 cards that I'm just not thinking of. I mean, they didn't literally include everything. There's probably enough cards that are like in the 20 plus range that they could run another Modern Masters just as good as this one. And if they wait 2 years, it's going to get even worse price-wise for those cards. So, okay, but then what would they print in 2021? Probably nothing, because the game will be almost exclusively digital, and they'll be pushing that, and it'll shift from 60% of their income to 80%, and they won't care. So assuming, I'm reading way into that, but assuming that that's their plan, okay. But otherwise, let's say that I am right and they don't think that they could successfully pull off another product in 2019 or even 2018, anything with the word masters on it after this, if they print it to death. Maybe they are thinking, let's wave one it. That's it. Never send another wave 2 ever. And I don't mean some fake freaking reprint where they were holding it the whole time like some goddamn magic trick. AKA Eternal Masters. Ooh, the card was in my pocket the whole time. We had more the whole time. We were just deceiving you. Woohoo! Still no official proof they did that. They could have literally reprinted it. Nobody has proved that yet. Anyway, so assuming that's not what they do with Modern Masters 3, they just wave one it and call it a day. It's like, okay, everybody wanted it, everybody bought it, we made our money, but the singles price only went down 10 or 20%, not 75%. So we could take Modern Masters 3 and reprint it the very next year verbatim with 0 changes and the demand would still be there. But see, that's what doesn't make sense. That's completely like cyclical logic that doesn't make sense when you zoom out to the big picture. Oh, we want to preserve the fact that we can sell a master set with the same singles in it sometime in the future so that we can make money in the future. So we don't want to sell them now and make the money now. Well, you either make the money now or you make it later. The only thing that time brings is slightly more demand and slightly more players, slightly more destroyed cards, theoretically. So stalling for time will not get you enough of a demand to reprint the set again. So it doesn't make sense to say we're gonna cut it short now so that we can sell it later. No, just sell it now. I mean, when would you want the money is the only question. I mean, if they print this to death and then they can't put together another Modern Masters, they'll just literally not make a Modern Masters. They'll come up with a new format, or they'll do like Frontier Masters or Commander Masters or frickin' Pauper Masters. That would be kind of weird if they did that, actually. Hell, I think they should just do Land Masters. I like the idea of Land Masters. Good frickin' luck drafting it. That would actually be really funny. They'd have to include manlands and it would just be a manland fight. So the set wouldn't be draftable, but boy would people buy it, because mana bases and land bases, that is just the bane of any deck builder's existence in any format at all that exists. So I do not believe the logic that they'll hold off for that reason. So I'm left with basically 0 reasons for them to not reinforce with a wave 2, wave 3, wave 4 and just continue printing it and printing it and printing it to a certain point. Ignoring any history, ignoring the product, ignoring the company, just company A selling product A, you would want to sell it until people want to stop buying it. That's how many you produce. If people want, 100,000 pounds of carrots nationally, then that's what you make. I mean, you don't short it at 70 and be like, we had logical reasons to do it. You didn't. That doesn't even make sense. That would be called shooting yourself in the foot and losing boatloads of money needlessly. I mean, artificial scarcity, okay, driving up the price, okay, maybe, but that's practically illegal in the US. I mean, you'd get investigated for stuff like that. You can do it to a certain extent. I'm not too familiar on the laws with that, but as soon as the publicity about it leaks out, it's over for you. So kind of frowned upon in the US. So anyway, let's get to what my distributor said, because I've still been, asking questions, because he knows a hell of a lot more than any idiot speculators on the internet and Reddit do. I said, allegedly there is a rumor that's somewhat reliable, which, by the way, where the hell did this rumor come from? But anyway, it says the print volume is 5 times higher than Modern Masters 2015 because of perceived demand. I don't think they could physically ship that much in one wave, but who knows? Did you guys already receive 5 times the normal amount on the first shipment? Because that would be bad news, because he just got done telling me that they have oversold the amount that they said they're receiving. So he wrote back saying it is pretty comparable to the last Modern Masters from what I've seen, just from the supply side. So if it is true that they're printing 5 times as much as the last Modern Masters, then 1/5 of the amount has been shipped in the first wave, and there is 4 times as much remaining to be shipped. So that brings me back to who the hell made this rumor? All I did was hear it. I heard a bunch of people say it, so now I'm saying it. I'm sure that's very respectable and great journalism. Did you know Hillary Clinton is actually a reptile and a hologram, and the moon is flat and made out of cheese, and we're living in the Matrix? We're living in the Hillary Clinton cheese matrix. Oh my God. So the whole 5X rumor, either somebody thought that that's what they would do logically. So they said it, and then they said, I think this is what they'll do. And people, playing telephone basically pass it off as this is what they're going to do. Oops, or perhaps the person just maliciously made it up as a false rumor on purpose to get people to manipulate the market because they're trolling or think it's funny or have their own vested interest. Like they're sitting there, they know something that we don't, and they're putting in pre-orders for 180 after they themselves and their own rumor crashed the price. It's called price manipulation. People do it all the time. Or 3, there was a legitimate source within Wizards who told a friend of a friend who leaked it to a friend who leaked it to some forum or something, and they are actually printing it at about 5x, so that would mean that it's actually true. I have no idea which one of those 3 is the case. No idea whatsoever. Don't even know what the original source of it was, unfortunately. If anybody does have any additional information, we'd love to hear about it down below in the comment section. So what we do know as fact is that MM2 and MM3, the shipments were about the same size, according to my distributor. And I don't think they just magically shorted just my distributor. So that's all we know is fact right now. Provably true. So do with that information what you want. I would say just a wave 2, not even like a wave 5, wave 2, just 1 second shipment. I would put the probability at 90%. I am that confident that Wizards is not going to leave that much money on the table. And even if they sent like a 50% size second wave compared to wave 1, would it do that much to the prices? No. If they don't, with the level of sales and the fact that there's more pre-orders and demand from the resellers to the distributors than they have boxes right now, that would be incredibly stupid to not at least fill those orders. I mean, come on. But then again, people are ordering way the hell more than they should just solely based on the value. So maybe people are just being stupid. I don't know. I don't think it'll level out at MM2 levels, though. If that's all they're shipping, that's not good enough, because this set is like 4 times as valuable as MM2, it looks like. Or at least sought after the sellability, not literally the dollar amount. It's probably only about 40 or 50% above the anticipated value day 1 box EV of MM2, which is kind of funny. But I think people know the in-person I'm buying 1 pack demand is going to be huge, because it's not just Tarmogoyf for miss. It's not just hit one of the 5 jackpots or don't, and most people lose at it, because nobody does that. Nobody plays that game. Nobody's interested in that product. What people are interested in is I'm only spending $30 and buying 3 packs, and the probability states that I've got an 80%, 90% chance of pulling a really valuable rare or mythic or foil from it. Just overall, because they really spread it around. In fact, a valuable uncommon. If people keep winning and winning and winning, in their mind, they're going to buy more. I mean, they're probably going to buy double or triple. So, oh boy, so we need double or triple compared to the last time, just at the in-person retail level, not including any kind of investors, hoarders, online sellers, none of that. So the numbers are just not there to suggest that Wizards is like, wave 1, cut it off, done. I just don't see it coming. There's just no way. The only question now then is, are they really that stupid? Are they going to cut it off after wave 1 because they've made dumb decisions in the past? Or are they going to keep it going? And then how far? Are we going 100% reinforcement, here have double, okay, now we're done? Triple, now we're done? Quadruple, now we're done? 100 times, I hope you can still get rid of these at the end of the day, now we're done? I mean, how nuts are they going to get with it? I say if they're smart, they'll keep selling until people are done buying. I mean, that's just how a business works. So that's my 2 cents on it. That's what my my rep at the distributor said. And I wish I had more information, but I don't. It is going to be driving me nuts and on my head for the next, or in my mind, whatever, I'm tired, for like the next 3 weeks. Can't wait to think about that nonstop. That'll be awesome. Also, shout out to Jeremy for blasting that ass on the shady sellers that are lying about stuff and, canceling people's pre-orders and lying about the reason and all that stuff. I'd name their name, but just in case they get lawsuit happy, like that douche who's suing H3H3, even though he has 0% chance of winning, I'm going to see what happens with that, and then I'm going to start putting people on blast. Oh, for those of you longtime viewers, you know what happened to anybody who sues me. It will be the last mistake they ever make, because I settle stuff outside of court. Oh, you're going to take your millions of dollars and stuff it all into legal fees just on principle to beat me in court because you have more money than me? I wonder what I'd do with my last little bit of cash instead of paying it to you. I'll give you a hint. Nothing nice for you, your lawyer, your family, or anything you care about. So On that topic, if you had your pre-order canceled by anybody, me and Jeremy, and honestly probably Rudy at this point, actually I don't think he gives a crap. I forgot who else said it. Somebody, probably wasn't Wedge, he's way too nice. But somebody, we're all just going to tear them to pieces. If you've got the proof, you got screenshots, you got emails and stuff proving that somebody canceled your order and lied about it, oh, we're going to make sure they never sell another Magic product as long as they live. You know, they say no PR is bad PR and no news coverage is bad coverage. Yeah, that's not true, and I'll prove it to you. So unfortunately, it had to come to that, but, well, this is what happens when anybody has a chance to make money. People backstab each other in business, on Wall Street, in criminal enterprises, in unregistered investments. I mean, anytime money is on the line. Like, you've heard the stories about people where, like, they bought a Powerball ticket for their whole company, but then the person who bought it said, oh no, this was actually mine that won, the company one didn't win, and then they tried to like cash it in themselves to keep all the money instead of splitting it 50 ways, and then it turns into a big giant legal fight, and the person almost always wins because the other people have no evidence that what they're saying is false. Yeah, welcome to Greedville. When $400 million are on the line, people start backstabbing each other. That's what always happens. Well, call me crazy, but I like to equalize things. I like to even them out and make sure that, you know, good wins in the end. So anybody doing crap like that, I definitely try to make sure there's consequences. So like I said, send me a PM, DM, HM, TM, you know, really good Pokemon move trainers. Carrier pigeon smoke signal. Might have to be in binary, not like Navajo. I could read binary a lot better. Let me know, because I love blasting people who deserve it. Also, bad news is going to be gone on a trip all weekend. I don't know if they'll have Wi-Fi. If they do, I don't know. I'll try and bring my mic along and just BS my way through some kind of thing on some garbage laptop because both of my laptops are out of commission right now. Ugh. Oh, and some idiot on eBay took a freaking week just to drop into the mail my replacement screen. No, I didn't break it. It broke on its own. I'm not an irresponsible louse. So it might be a little bit of a video desert, but I don't know. We'll see. That said, I'll see you guys next video. See you guys next